What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jack. I'm back with another one. No intro, whatever. We're just going to talk about the playoff picture. You see the AFC playoff picture at the top. With the NFC, whatever, AFC playoff picture. Who's in the playoffs?
Ultimately tearing his Achilles, and we see right here the rest of the schedule that they're going to have
Daniel
to go
Jones injury impacts the playoff. Daniel Jones
at quarterback. They're probably going to bring in another
for the Indianapolis Colts,
man. A little bit, but at Seattle against that defense,
dang, fam. All these injuries from these quarterbacks, bruh. Damn, fam.
So it's very possible that
I don't know, bro.
Colts don't win another game. Remember, of course,
it's been a tough season, bro. It's been an off-season, tough season, all that.
Right? They don't really care that the first round pick
is going. Week 16 in the NFL, 2 more weeks after that, 3 more weeks, whatever, and then on the way to the Super Bowl. My team is not in it.
Really unfortunate for
Indy, ATL Falcons.
I'm going ahead and crossing them out of the playoff picture entirely.
Our sports line projection has them at a little bit
it's your team, you feel that way, but yeah.
How much of that injury is factored into the projection and not just the team put across that schedule? Because without the quarterback, the task
week 16, we got the Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. 11-3. Seahawks, 11-3 Rams. That's going to be the one for the ages on Thursday.
Man, hold up.
Tough game right there. I want to see that. See the handling. Who's going to wrap that game up? It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game.
If you just score 16 or 17 points, you should be able to win.
They got Matthew Stafford team versus Sam Darnold team. Who's going to win?
Team that was extremely desperate, knowing they had to win
my
a ball
predictions
game. They
is
just made Pat Mahomes look like a pedestrian-like quarterback.
That might go to overtime for my predictions, goddamn.
In his entire career, when you talk about
somehow
his QB
the Rams might wrap it up again, Seahawks
so for me,
like,
when I look at the Houston
Seahawks got the
Texans, you look
dub.
at their remaining schedule,
Either way, some good ass teams. So shout out to both of them teams.
Getting into the playoffs, I like their chances
in the playoffs. And we got Saturday, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're 9-5, going against the Washington Commanders, who's 4-10. You already know. Commanders, Commanders season been too. Their season been off, since Jaden Daniels, the GOAT from the team, JD. He's been out again, bro. Just sad to see Commanders like that, bro. They have some good players on the offense and defense, but we got Marcus Mariota,
Who can we trust more consistently?
Oh my God! See, he done this with the Falcons. He did a little bit for a little split second, and throw interceptions at the end. Like, bro, Like, you think the Commanders need that without JD5? No. Ain't no way, bro. The Commanders is a good ass team, fam.
I know you look at Pittsburgh and Baltimore fight.
It's sad to see their season like that,
We've
bro.
seen Pittsburgh win multiple games.
After all they done last year, bro, like, why? What's going on, bro? JD5 not in no more, bro.
Lost that game 2 weeks ago.
What season?
Baltimore, because they just don't have that same type of energy that they used to have. And now, when you look at how Jacksonville is playing with confidence, Houston is now coming along strong.
I was on favor, going to say the Eagles, so Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, I guess.
Everybody over there,
anyways, we're going to the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Dallas Cowboys.
We'll see what the outcome is there and how it implies
that's on
what we will see
Sunday.
moving forward.
Wait, no. My bad. Green Bay Packers versus Chicago Bears on Saturday, too. My bad.
I'm interested. It's a question that
9-4 for Green Bay Packers, 10-4 for Chicago Bears. That's going to be a game. Jordan Love versus Caleb Williams. That's going to be a game.
Very good football. Elite, maybe, in one of those two instances, JJ.
I'm going to say they're getting both in a row, but I'm going to say Chicago Bears might wrap up another my predictions. But yeah, Sunday, and then we got Sunday, Los Angeles Chargers versus Dallas Cowboys. Chargers, I guess they've been on the road for Dallas Cowboys. They're slipping up. They're not in the playoffs now. Tough season for the Dallas Cowboys, too.
Everyone's waiting for his crash to earth, right?
LA Chargers might wrap it up. Anyways, Minnesota Vikings versus New York Giants. These teams.
I would also like to play
I'm
fewer
saying
games
Minnesota
in the
Vikings probably
playoffs
get
to
the
get
W.
to the Super Bowl.
Then
Meanwhile,
you got
Drake
the
May,
Cincinnati
he's had,
Bengals
and
versus the
we've heard this
Miami
plenty,
Dolphins.
one of the
Miami
easier
Dolphins,
schedules
I don't
in
know
the
what happened to
entire
Miami
NFL,
Dolphins.
right?
They had
So
chance
let's
to get in
not
the
put
playoffs.
more
And
playoff caliber teams in front of him.
always
Let's
season,
get him
and
as
then, you
few
know,
of those
they
teams as
lose.
possible.
So,
I'll say
Dolphins
this,
fan,
I
though.
believe in Drake May more because he is
So,
playing at an
who will win?
MVP
I don't
level
know.
than I do Bo
Maybe
Nix, who is
Bengals
being
might win,
buoyed
Miami
by
might win.
clearly a defense and having lost
But in my
1,000-yard
opinion,
rusher,
I'm
at
gonna
least
say,
someone
you
who's
know,
on pace for that. They're still able to run the football.
you know what? Joe Burrow and Boogies might win. They got Burrow back, so Bengals might wrap up the Dolphins. Well, let's move on to the classes of the ages for the NFC South. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers, 7-7. All I know is gonna come down to that anyway. The Carolina Panthers, they was at the top of the Carolina. They was at the top of the NFC South for 2 days. Save us, Falcons. Shout out to C-Dottie.
Right? You just need the ball to fall in your
Yeah, save us. You've been at the top for 2 days. What y'all thought, Panthers? You thought it was going to be the one? Nah. It's going to always be the Bucs to win the division until the Falcons get their shit right. So, who's going to win that game? I'm going to say, you know, it might be a close game, but, you know, at the end, Tampa Bay is going to wrap it up and beat the Panthers. That's that. And then we got New York Jets versus the New Orleans Saints. Man, who's gonna win this game? It don't even matter. To be honest, from this game, the New York Jets. They're 3-11. The New Orleans Saints 4-10. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Bucs. Oh my God, like Joe Shug, they been doing his shit, man. Like, damn, who expect the Saints to beat Panthers? Damn, Buccaneers. You know what? The New Orleans Saints might just wrap them up in that matchup. Move on to the Buffalo Bills versus the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns 3-11. Buffalo Bills 10-4. Josh Allen. You know what? See, Josh Allen. He's gonna wrap it up. Him and the Bills. They're gonna wrap it up and get the W. Josh Allen been Josh Allen, you know. He's still Josh Allen. So one of the greatest of all time. You get in the win of his division. So, yep, that's that. And then we got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs gonna win some type of way. Without Patrick Mahomes, the greatest all time. I love the Kansas City Chiefs too. Even though my main team is Atlanta Falcons, all we will be, but they're 6-8. The Tennessee Titans 2-12. Patrick Mahomes torn ACL, man. That did it for the Kansas City Chiefs fans too, bro. I'm a fan of Patrick Mahomes too. I love Patrick Mahomes, bro.
One loss on the road against the Green Bay Packers. The
Patrick
Bears fall from
Mahomes,
top seed all the way to the final seed in that playoff picture.
I know you can't win everything, my guy, but it sucks how that's happened. You know, that's how.
The team sitting at number one.
You know how it works in the football, any sports league. You know, get injured and have to do whatever it takes. You know,
yeah, the location for LA is going to matter a lot to me. Like the last 2 years, the LA Rams have been one of the best teams in the NFL, right? Point blank, period, full
stop. You know how it go. How injuries go too.
The one team that has been a bugaboo for them has been the Philadelphia Eagles. When they go to Philly, they can't win.
Also, I get Patrick
Mahomes
outside,
right? Last year when they played
12 months to be back.
In the postseason, of course, we had that
he'll
snow
be back
game.
by some 8
Remember
months
the week
next year.
where they
around
got
August, September, he'll be back.
State Farm Stadium in the game that was
Patrick Mahomes loves
from
that
Los
field.
Angeles.
Patrick
just
Mahomes
think
loves that.
about
He loves
how
to be
great
back.
LA has
He's gonna be back. He's gonna be better than that. I'm telling you this right now. It's the first time that Kansas City Chiefs been out of playoff since 2014. Andy Reid, like since 2014. My God. Since 14 years ago, like they've been dominating for all these years, about a decade.
To Philly
Dang,
in inclement weather.
Kansas City Chiefs, they won 4 Super Bowls in their whole entire career season, but Patrick Mahomes took over. I already knew what he did. Patrick Mahomes been winning, my God, always at the top.
A great deal of dividends.
What's my team can get like that? That can't get something yet. When they do, it'll be a shocker. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes will be back. I'll give it to next season. August, September, he'll be back. I promise you.
In the multitude of ways and in the speed that the Los
Yeah.
Angeles
But
Rams
anyway,
can
you got the
improvise.
Jacksonville Jaguars versus
Playoff
the
caliber
Denver
football in
Broncos.
Los
That's from
Angeles.
their
Don't go
match
too
right there.
far. They got Detroit coming to town.
We got
in a
Trevor
massive one with
Lawrence
all sorts of
versus
implications.
Dame
Top of the
Boniek
future
spot.
and
The
bottom.
Denver
Look at
Broncos
Detroit's
is
role, not
number
just a
one
game
in
back of that
the
final wild card spot.
Take
AFC,
one
bro.
game at a time. I think for
They are number one
Detroit,
in the AFC.
seeing what they
The
did
Denver
this
Broncos.
past Thursday
The Denver
against the Dallas
Broncos, bro.
Cowboys was very, very encouraging.
I don't even
because it
hate
was
the Denver
kinda a
Broncos. Like
must-win
people, some
scenario
people
for
don't respect the
Detroit.
Denver
They were able
Broncos,
to
but
win, but I love what I saw
dang,
in their
bro,
defense.
the Denver
You talk about the
Broncos.
high-level offense that was coming into their building in the Dallas Cowboys led by
Broncos,
Dak Prescott.
like,
We
they
felt
going
like
to the playoffs. They
they
say,
wouldn't
no
get
way
the
we going
necessary
to the
stops the
playoffs.
Detroit Lions.
No matter
Well,
what.
they were able to get the necessary
Dang,
stops,
the
and their
Broncos.
offense
A lot
did
of
what
people
they
respect
needed
the
to
Broncos.
do, and they came
Man,
up
the
with a
Broncos
huge
on their
win.
shit.
Now for Detroit,
So who will
this
win
was
that win?
a fascinating stat that I
let me
didn't
see.
know about Detroit. They haven't won
I don't know. I'm
back-to-back
gonna have to
ball
go
games since
with
the last
Jacksonville
Sunday in
Jaguars been on that
September
shit. They
and
never
the
been to Super
first
Bowl or won a
Sunday
Super
in
Bowl. So
October.
Jacksonville Jaguars got a lot
Win,
of two.
loss, win,
So
loss. That
I'm
will
saying they're
get
gonna be
you
a close
into
ass
the
game
playoffs.
too. And
You
then, you
just won a
know,
ball game
man,
against the Dallas Cowboys. You have a very, very tough
who is
game
gonna be a
coming
close
up against the
game? In
Rams.
my opinion,
Can
who
you
might
go
win?
back to back? Because you need to do so.
Broncos might
when you
win,
look at
but
where
it'd
they're
be a
currently
shocker
sitting
if
on the
somehow
outside
the
looking
Jacksonville
in and trying
Jaguars
to
get a W.
solidify that playoff seat. So for me,
Now
Detroit
we're moving
Lions, they
on.
can take care of their business.
Atlanta
On the
Falcons
road
versus
against the
Arizona
Rams.
Cardinals.
You get
3-11.
Pittsburgh at home.
Arizona
We know
Cardinals
how
5-9
hungry
in the Falcons.
they've been at Ford Field.
This is my
Of
team,
course,
the
Vikings and
Falcons.
the Bears,
Who's gonna
they
win?
control
We're going
their
for
own
the Falcons
destiny.
regardless.
And when you look at their schedule, guys,
So I
it's
say
a
the
four-game
Falcons will
schedule.
pick up the win over
What's
the
the best case
Cardinals.
scenario? I mean, the best case
To
scenario
go
would
all
be
the
to
way.
win all four.
Yeah, that's just
What
that.
wiggle room
Las
would
Vegas
you say
Raiders
Detroit has
2-12
with their four
versus the
remaining
Houston
games
Texans
for them to be able
9-5.
to
That
maybe
Houston Texans
lose
CJ
one
Stroud
or
when
two
CJ Stroud
and still
came
get
back,
in?
bro.
What would be
Even though
the
when CJ Stroud was gone for injury for a little bit, came back. His
AFC.
main
Right.
quarterback,
Steelers,
backup
but
quarterback,
not a
doing
whole
his
lot
shit.
because you're also talking about
They step
Chicago
up that
Bears
game,
possibly
like,
in that
they-
conversation.
it's a
The Green
team
Bay
right
Packers
here.
possibly in that
Underdogs
conversation.
going to the
Seahawks,
playoffs right here.
49ers,
Houston
depending how the
Texans.
West plays out. You got to be
They deserve to be in the
entering those
playoffs.
ball
They do.
games thinking
The
you
Houston
need all
Texans, I
four.
get
See,
them
that's
that.
the thing. They need help, but they got
So
to
I don't know
right now,
team.
they need to
I'll
go
say the Houston Texans gonna win anyway.
3-1
They
worst
deserve
case scenario, and
playoff
3-1
spot.
with
Yeah,
with
playoffs,
some
they do.
help. Yeah, with some help. Making sure that you
Now we move on to
that
Pittsburgh
one is just the right
Steelers.
team.
They're 8-6
Sometimes
versus
to
the
make a move, you
Detroit
don't have to be in
Lions.
action.
8-6,
Some
man.
move back towards you. And Emery,
That's
that's
a good
where we're
two good
going to
teams.
close out this conversation.
You know, the
Carolina
Pittsburgh
Panthers
Steelers got
at
the
7-6.
win. Aaron
At one point, it
Rodgers
felt like here they come.
versus
At another,
Jared
it felt
Goff and
like
the
cute
Detroit
sparring.
Lions. They
Now with this
play.
Buccaneers loss to
Oh, that's gonna be a tough game to watch. I'm
of
gonna watch
all
that
teams,
too.
it feels
So
wide open.
who's gonna
Probably a
win?
one-bid
It's
league,
gonna
like
be
we
a
like
close
to call it.
game. It's gonna be a
How do you
close
like
game
your
for
chances
sure.
against what's right now a
But
ailing Buccaneers?
somehow I'm going for the
actually
Detroit
love their
Lions.
chances because now they sit right next to the
Everyone
bus like
still think he got
they
time.
both
I know.
lost at the same
Aaron
time
Rodgers.
in weird
Detroit
situations,
Lions,
right?
Jared
And then
Goff,
you look
the
at
way
the
they've
one
been
game
playing for
everyone's
years and
points to
years.
is when, well, you
This
can't
is
take
broken
Carolina
team as
seriously
well.
because he got blown
They
out
will
by
get
Buffalo.
there.
That was with Andy
They will
Dalton.
get
It
there.
wasn't with Bryce
Sometime.
Young at quarterback.
They will
And
get
now
there.
we're seeing a quarterback in
So
Bryce
I'm
Young
going for the
that has
Detroit
gotten better
Lions.
each and every year from completion percentage, touchdown
And then we got the New England
yards,
Patriots
all of those things.
versus the
And
Baltimore
they're playing with good vibes.
Ravens.
I think
The
that's
New England
great
Patriots
for
are
this
11-3. The
football team.
Baltimore
Young
Ravens
team.
are 7-7.
Secondary starting to turn the ball over. Did a great job against the Rams. That was a huge
Drake
win
May, I
for
don't know what
Carolina. And now
happened.
the Bucs
It's
twice.
the L,
To
but that's
revenge,
okay.
avenge your loss versus
But
the
you
Saints
still got a lot
in
to
their place,
prove
and you have
that Sunday
another
night
test against
against
Seattle.
the Baltimore
So for me,
Ravens.
Carolina doing what they did,
Lamar Jackson. So
last
got a
weekend,
lot.
how
It's
they
gonna
were
be
able to make the Rams
a
look
little close
like
game
a
right there.
mediocre
And then at the end,
with them having the
I'm
Bucks
gonna have
and
to
how
go
the
with
Bucks
the
and
New
how
England
the injuries
Patriots.
and,
Drake May
and
gonna
how they
find a way
played
to
the
get that
first 6
W.
games of the season.
But
when they
somehow
were
Lamar Jackson and the
playing,
Ravens
lights out.
somehow
This is
come
a
out the
huge
whip.
opportunity.
Man,
I
but
think the
like,
Panthers
dang,
can go and steal that spot from
dang.
We
What a
got some
game.
exciting football out in front of us here in the month of
Yep.
December. And as always, opinions subject to change.
Yep. Yeah, so
Mac
them
just bet on the ball
Falcons
face. You
and
didn't get to see it, but Mac bet on the ball face.
yep, the
Take it away,
Rams, the
Ray.
Bills, Seahawks,
Odds to win the Super Bowl,
Broncos,
the Rams, it's
Packers,
hard to argue with
Patriots,
them right now.
Eagles,
And then
Texans.
a division.
You knew.
Shortest odds to win Super Bowl. Out of that pen, right there, you know what? I say, you know what? I might let the Eagles just win it again, huh? Win it again. But you know what? It's looking like the Bills. The Bills. I said the Buffalo Bills might be in that bit. The Bills.
Your 2026 NFL draft order.
Don't mean that, bro. Bills. You know what? Somehow the Bills gonna wrap themselves in this. They ain't got no Super Bowl playoff. Somehow the Bills gonna wrap themselves in there. They gonna wrap themselves in the Super Bowl playoff. The Bills.
Could be a Super Bowl and a top 10 pick. We will highlight it until it's no longer true.
But yeah, that's that. That was the CBS Sports from the NFL playoff pictures. On that, that was keep an update on it. But like, comment, subscribe. You know, it's in my description down below, whatever. I'm your boy Jack, and I'll see you on another one. I'm out, gang. Peace out.